All right. Hello, guys. Welcome to the second day of the opening season for Keanu Esports Huskies Valorant. I am your host for today, Ancient Angel. You guys may remember me from Saturday, and I'm here with a new face to Keanu Esports, my good friend Sleepy.
Hello, yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to cast for Keanu as they enter into the NECC, first match with the NECC. So this should be an exciting one. Obviously, on Saturday they looked very, very good, so I'm excited to see them move through here as they do face today SFU. And so it's going to be an exciting one. We're already in the agent select. We're already looking at the players. Do you have any thoughts so far as these agent picks start coming through?
Well, the first thing I do want everyone to pay attention to is this really super cool double duelist coming out from Keanu. Unfortunately, Tiny is not here today. He's not able to play today. So for our two best of one games, we do have Ebb subbing in for Tiny. And then on the side of SFU, we see another double duelist, but we see the Neon come out. How do you feel about this Neon Jet chamber thing they've got going on at
I
SFU?
think, especially like obviously Breeze is new coming into, and it's going to start re-entering into the esports scene, so we're going to see it more and more. But obviously, Neon is not an agent we saw on very many other maps. Sometimes you'd see it on Fracture. Sometimes you'd see some people try and pull it out on weird maps and try and pull something out to catch their opponents off guard. But Neon as a whole, I don't necessarily favor. But we are talking about Breeze. It's a big map. You need to be able to move fast. And I think Neon can definitely lend you to that, especially because there's some good angles where you can just slide across and send your concuss through without getting hit. Um, there's a lot of good setups for that. Obviously, Jet I think is a pretty good staple. Now, I do question the decision for SFU to put both a chamber and a Jet and a Neon. That's a lot of firepower as far as agents that can hold those longer angles. And in both having a chamber and a Jet, and then you also have your Neon. So it's going to be weird because they don't have a Sentinel. They've got Sova as their solo initiator. So this is a very I'd say very off meta comp. Obviously, the meta is going to change a lot as we see more and more Breeze, but as far as what I would expect, this probably isn't it. Um, how do you feel about Keanu's comp? I mean, obviously, a little bit more of what I might expect.
Yeah, so Keanu's comp is going to be super interesting. I really want to see what Ebb can do on this Yoru. We've seen Yoru be played on Breeze before. In fact, if you guys remember from 2022, back when Breeze was in the map pool, FPX, now Navi, used to run Yoru on Breeze, and it was a super interesting comp to see. It's super interesting to see how Yoru was able to take that mid control. So it's going to be super interesting to see with this new revamped Breeze. Obviously, we've gotten rid of halls. We've kind of simplified mid a little bit more. It's going to be super interesting to see what these characters can end up doing. We haven't, we've seen a little bit of Neon on Breeze too, especially back in the day. We saw it in exchange for the Jet during that chamber meta. We saw teams like FaZe run it. So it's going to be super interesting to see these two comps. It's the first map that I've casted where Breeze is back in the map pool.
Yes.
So I'm super excited for this. A little bit of trivia before we get into this pistol round and things start. Sunset is available for NECC games, so we might be able to cast some Sunset later on. But for now, we are in the pistol round. Keanu versus SFU. Chris M on the B site, but it seems like everyone else on SFU is looking for an A take on Cave. Bondo, huge first opening pick onto Mob. Savo with one onto Mave. And we have an immediate retreat by SFU.
They
What do
do
you
have
think of this
a
so far,
chamber.
Sleepy?
They do have a chamber coming through mid. Never mind, not anymore. So this lurk's going to be a little bit more difficult now. To try and move through mid, they were just going to back out, get away. Maybe try and rotate. Now
Huge
they're
pick by Sock Monkey. And now Bondo knows where he is. Sock Monkey retreats, but we still have. Oh, wow, Bondo. Just no fear. Cat Law. Let's see what he can do. 1v3. Ebb is low, but spikes down in mid. Oh, and you immediately see this double push from Keanu at mid, playing to contain, guarding the spike. It's really going to be on Law. If he can get this pick onto Eb, never mind. Eb shuts it down. Pistol round for Keanu. This is good signs, right? Saturday
Yeah,
wasn't
I
a
mean,
fluke, right?
those are definitely that's the staple of I think what will become Keanu's reputation is that immense firepower that they bring, the mechanical skill. Very impressive for any team, let alone a collegiate team here. And so I'm impressed to see that. I did like the way that SFU sort of decided to back out of, obviously they were pushing a little bit aggressively towards main. It's pistol, you're not going to be doing a whole lot. But once they started losing players, I like that they tried to pivot towards their lurker in mid. The only issue was they were not completely, they left that lurker a little bit too exposed. So hopefully they can clean a little bit of that up. They're gonna try and take some of these rounds, but not looking possible in this.
Yeah, Bondo, huge opening pick onto Sock Monkey, and you see this mid engagement out of Keanu, Law and Sinuel and Hob. Oh my goodness, that's 3 huge picks, but Savo on the flank. Able to take down Shanyul. Will he be able to get one onto Maeve? Can he go for 3? No, he has to reload. Backing up. Chris M gets caught off on the lurk, and it's going to require 4 out of Savo for this round. I mean, was this expected? Was this in the cards?
I mean, really not. Obviously, they lost those players early. They did such a good job, SFU did, of taking that mid control and taking advantage of it. Now, they still have yet to pick up spikes, so now they're finally able to wrap around. They took really good control of especially that sort of CT area, but it has sort of enabled Savo to have a little bit of free range, undiscovered. They don't know where Savo could be coming from. This could definitely lend their hand.
Did they hear him? I don't know, but Savo, lurking around the back, he hears them now. He knows they're going B. Do they watch it? Are they ready for him? Pulls out the Bulldog. Oh, just barely can't convert. Law, 3 for the round. Gets one onto Savo, and that is a thrifty out of SFU.
Yeah, I really wasn't anticipating that, especially after how dominantly Keanu played that pistol round with their prowess of that mechanical skill, and now coming into that round, didn't really see too much of that. We saw some good plays with the Bulldog, but obviously at the end there could not clutch the 1v2, despite having a bit of a good flank. Reaction time was too much to handle. I do want to see if Keanu can sort of figure out how to deny that quick entry, because it does seem like that's what SFU is going to be taking advantage of. They took really good mid control, and I think that's sort of what they're going to be going for consistently, is trying to play together and take good control of a site mid, and try and use that to their advantage and be quite fluid in their movement.
100%. And Sock Monkey, immediate pick onto Eb here. Bondo immediately going into spawn with Savo with one onto Law, and Bondo with an amazing shot onto Shanyul. Savo controlling mid. It's going to be on this drone from Bondo to really be able to see what he can find. Sock Monkey. And Savo able to shoot the side of the head. Thrifties back to back. Oh my goodness. This is a scrappy slaughterfest on both sides.
Seems, I mean, obviously Eco, you play a little bit differently on an Eco than when you've got that gun advantage, and you saw that as they aggressively pressured mid, and they were rewarded. They were able to catch, it seemed SFU was caught off guard with how quickly Keanu just pushed into them, and Keanu is able to take advantage of that. So we'll see if Keanu can continue to show that proactive sort of entry or play as they need to counterplay what their opponent is doing in SFU. We'll see if SFU decides to switch things up. They're gonna have to probably take an eco.
Yeah, I mean, well, we see this kind of half by force buy come in, and they're trying to explode onto the A site right now. Eb going to have to now play without his jet by his side. Sock Monkey immediately into sight and has the Thunder's Fury out.
Spike planted.
Stuns come in. Sock Monkey's going to push that. Oh, and Senja isn't able to find the kill. Bondo will. Bondo will trade, and Maeve with this off. Wow. The force buy pays off for SFU.
Yeah, it seems every round we're going to enter it to one of the teams is going to be low on eco. Although you do look at Keanu, and they're actually able to scrap a buy together, at least for the majority of their players, which is definitely a good place to be in. So we're going to start to see this econ equalize, or at least the gun buys equalize, at least coming into this round. But obviously, I said SFU was probably just going to be trying to take aggressive hold of one of the sites, and we saw that play out in that round. They're just aggressively pushing into A, able to find those entry picks, and from that point, it was just down to Keanu to try and scramble something together, and they could not. Gonna have to be on this sort of awkward buy where only 3 of their players have guns.
Chris M immediately able to find one onto Shanyul. Notice how the Jet is working with the Blade Storm here on the side of Keanu, so we should try and see some aggressive play out of Savo. Savo turns his back, the timing betrays him. Maeve gets 2 on the site. Chris M can't find one, and now it's on Bondo on the retake. He does have a Vandal, but it is a 1v4. Let's see what he can get done.
Planted.
Nope.
Not much. Hob, 3 on the round. This is a statement currently being made on the side of SFU, right? I mean, especially if you watched Keanu play in that NECC game, their season opener on Saturday, and you know they're able to take down a team 26-3. You're like, oh, these guys are insane. But SFU showing that they can put up the numbers too. They can put up shots too. So now that we see this full buy come back for Keanu, we're gonna see what they're gonna be able to do. But we see this aggressive cave stance again from 2 players from SFU. On the other side of the map, though.
Being pretty split up here. Looks like they want to make noise, bait out the A push, because they haven't done this sort of split play yet. But you do look at Keanu, they're not budging. They're very aware that that could be a possibility. Of course, SFU has that spike, along with 3 players moving towards B, so that's definitely where they want to take this. They don't really have good control, though, quite yet. They need to be a little bit more pushy, and we see that happening on both A and B.
Ebb found that first pick, the barrel betrayed Law, and now we see the 3 remaining players on SFU kind of tail spinning here. They were able to find one in mid, they were able to find Bondo up there at the top of Nest, but it's gonna really, as they push into the C site, or the B site, they're gonna see Senja, like they're gonna have to contest with all that Cypher utility. The Molly does come in, the Snake Bite. Oh, Senja with 1, can't find Maeve for the second, and Savo goes down to Hob.
30 seconds
Ebb
left.
trying to bait out a couple shots. Viper's Pit goes up on the side of SFU, and Chris M is still rotating in from main. I mean, the time is now, right? Why not just go for it? But Maeve looking to swing out here on backside.
One enemy remaining.
Able to find the first, can't find the second. Maeve trades it out. It's Chris M versus Maeve, and the 1v1, and Chris M gets it! A beautiful clutch.
Beautifully done by Chris. Find that pick. Yeah, I like that SFU decided to be a little bit more proactive in their strategy. They switched it up. They decided to go for that split play. Unfortunately, the noise they made on A didn't really find very much, and by the time they were pushing in, the 3 that were moving towards B ended up moving towards mid, and they were caught out there. They were spotted. They were able to find a pick, but at that point, it was Keanu knew where they were going, and so SFU's plan had sort of been ruined, and Keanu could then rotate over towards B to try and defend it. Fortunately for SFU, they were able to get on site, and they got the plan down, which was getting that Viper's Pit out, but unfortunately for them, it was not played very well. They lose their Viper early, and Keanu is able to make the retake and find the clutch for the win in that round.
Alright, Keanu immediately starts with Ebb, using that dimensional drift, runs into their spawn, and teleports away. They know it's an A play. He just cleared out like all of B, save for the chamber on SFU. So we see a 5 stack out of Keanu. Ebb starts to rotate back because he does have a judge, and playing backside A with a judge is not, I don't think that's super ideal.
See, SFU already started rotating. Oh.
Wow. We leave Senja on the A site. Shanyul able to find one onto Bondo, and Ebb backside B with a judge. What can he get done? Flash goes out backside, jumps to spot. Chris M able to take one onto Shanyul. 2 from Chris M. The hero of last round for Keanu. What more can he do? Ebb able to find one onto Hob. Maeve, classic only. Senja, watch this mid lurk from Senja. Able to find Law. It's just onto Maeve. Maeve able to pick up a Vandal, but Chris M 3 on the round.
Yeah,
The
Chris
hero that they needed. It's this Chris M. Senja combo. I'm telling you, they were able to pull it in last game. They combined for like 40 kills across the series. And it's these two guys that are just pulling rounds out of the hat for Keanu.
Yeah, Chris M definitely having a very wonderful game. They, at the very least, SFU ended up playing a little bit differently in that round as well. Made a little bit of noise A, and then they completely rotated over to B, and it was a free sight. They played a little bit slower than maybe they could have, and it allowed Keanu to get over there to help stop some of that plant. Plant still went down, but SFU could not defend the spike, and it was retaken again. Sam refills around to make it powerful. Now Tour de Force is available, and we'll see what SFU can do as they send that Tour de Force to watch the window while 3 go mid and 1 goes A. Classic 1-3-1.
Now opening engagement here over by Cave with Savo. Hob able to take down Ebb, pushing through mid. Savo and Senja, the S-Twins, here on the A site. We see Maeve slowly reaggressing through Cave. Does he face check this off? That's the real question. Does he face check? He does, and Savo's able to collect. And now we see the remaining players. Oh wait, look at this B main engagement that's going on. Where Chris M is all the way pushed up.
Wait.
Sean, you never spotted him. That's going to be really interesting, especially if SFU, sticks to their old habits and rotate mid to B.
Timing.
Can Chris M catch off Sean Yule? Oh, he is! The missed shot out of Sean Yule on that chamber ult.
30 seconds.
Chris M able to collect
Spike
another
down,
two.
B.
I mean,
One
the
enemy
multi-kill
remaining.
machine. Chris M, he gets a third at B main. That's Spike. And now a 1v4 for low. 10 seconds left. Do you see this happening?
10 seconds left.
No, I mean, obviously they got a little bit of an advantageous position on the flank, but they send a dart, able to find a pick. 4 seconds left
Or
to get
two?
2 more
Okay.
kills.
Keanu, please. Don't do this to me. My heart.
Yeah.
Oh, and Chris M. Oh, that's so BM. 4 on the round for the Viper. He's hitting. He's hitting all his shots.
I mean, I think Keanu's back. I'm gonna be honest. They didn't look the best starting off the half, but they've really made a statement in these past few rounds, especially Chris M. I mean, at this point, SFU's goal should just be to take out Chris M, and then they can try and take the round.
Sleepy. Sleepy,
Yeah.
I gotta let you know. I don't think Keanu's back. I think that Keanu never left. No.
Oh.
Keanu never left.
All right.
Viper's Pit coming out, B main. As we see this this kind of more B-focused stance out of SFU. Do you think they're gonna try and go through this pit? Do you think that's the goal here? Just power through?
Looks like it. Although they may want to wrap around a little bit. So no, they are going to be trying to take this fight. Chris M holding a very weird off angle. You don't typically see held. Could allow this sort of advantageous position. So
It just seems like an outright B hit. Chris M and Bondo here on the site. The Owl Drone does not get a tag, so Chris M is able to escape. Sock Monkey goes in. Oh, and they're able to find it, but Bondo can trade onto Maeve. Bondo with another one onto Samuel. It's a 3v3 on the retake.
Unfortunately, Keanu just had those 3
Spike
on
planted.
A, so now they're having to rotate. It's going to take a while. Breeze is not a small map. That does allow this spike to tick down. Time can be played. We'll say SFU, perfect timing on that push through the Viper's pit.
Sure, but look at this
There.
weird Russian out of wall in elbow.
Oh.
Isn't able to find on Senja. What a beautiful shot. The last 2 players gonna get snuffed out. They know their backside. Ebb with this judge. Savo able to get one with the off. Senja got killed by Hob, but is able to convert with the judge. That is a beautifully done 3v3 retake out of Keanu. 6-3 scoreline.
You know, I said SFU needed to take out Chris in order to take the round. Seems that isn't even true. As soon as Chris went down, the rest of the team able to pick up the parts, put them back together, and get the team yet another win. I am very impressed with the way Keanu has been able to play this. They definitely seem to understand how to lock down these sites. They know where to hold. and especially how to get vision and not play too aggressively unless, of course, the situation requires it of them. They've just been able to find really good positions. They're able to hit their shots when they need to as well, something SFU has been struggling to do. And that definitely helps out in these rounds. It looks like SFU switching up, finally going to try and go for this A hit. Will they be successful? Chris is here. It's going to be deadly.
Yeah, I mean, Chris M, what a time to switch sites, right? Like, as soon as he's like, oh yeah, I just used my Viper's Pit on B, and now you have Senja over on the B side. I think that this Chris M Senja duo, able to just swap sites and just keep you guessing, you know, are you gonna get the Viper utility or are you gonna get the Cypher, is super difficult for them to figure out on the side of SFU. Senja able to Senja able to get one anyways onto Law. Gets a second too. Senja, don't do it to him. 3 HP, a demon in his own right. This is his realm. Can't just push it. SFU is able to send out their Viper's Pit, but at this point, I mean, Keanu do kind of have a little bit of control here at the cross. It's a 2v4. Bondo sends in the dart, and Ebb able to spray out Hob.
Wow.
Ebb swinging on him with the flash. So stylish.
Yeah, showing why this Euro has been played. You know what? Tiny may not be here, but it doesn't matter, as the sub is perfectly played. Able to get that Euro used perfectly. Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury are available. Hunter's Fury is actually available for both teams. Overdrive available for SFU as well. We saw it come out earlier in this half, and they didn't really have the opportunity to find very much damage with it because the rest of the team is able to find so many kills so quickly. So we'll see if they find more value this time. Keanu, of course, they're on some momentum right now. I've seen this team. You heard them in the background on the previous match they had on Saturday. The energy just gets high, and they continue to perform. They get that momentum behind them, and I don't think that's going to change.
Immediate cave rush with the overdrive out from SFU. Soft able to find one into Chris M, but this is just an absolute barrage through the wall. Senja barely able to escape. He has 10 HP. He pushes into his own cage. Maeve catches him out. Savo able to trade onto Hob. Ebb here. Backside. Spike is down. Savo pushing in through mid. Hunter's Fury goes out for Keanu. Cannot find a tag, and Ebb finds Maeve in between the pyramids. Savo with this off isn't able to find Sean Yule playing in that cubby, but Bondo sends out the shock dart and combines with Ebb. It is a solo 1v1, Bondo versus Law. And Bondo knows where he is. He saw Law send out that shock dart, and Bondo converts, and that gives Keanu their 8th round.
I mean, I'm lost for words. I was on Saturday watching that stream. I mean, this is more than an impressive match, and Keanu once again showing that they are going to dominate any matches that they have to play in this season. It just seems this team is so well put together. Their situational awareness, although it didn't show the strongest in that previous round, they definitely know how to play in those moments. Obviously, I mean, I think Bondo played that perfectly to apply that pressure down into main to find that pick. There's a reason Bondo is the IGL. They know when to call the shots, and that absolutely played a part in that round. Potential for a 9-3 as we move into this round. Hunter's Fury and Glacium available for SFU.
These opening 2 kills for Keanu, an absolute frag fest in that previous round. We immediately see Chris M and Senja combining on the A site now to do this double push. Super well read. Savo on this flank, they don't know. They're not ready. Don't do it. Savo, don't do it. Savo, don't do it. Oh my god, 9-3 at the half.
Disrespect to find the 9th kill. 9-3. It could be a curse as we switch sides. Keanu now going to be on the offense, and this is where we really get to see this comp shine. They've got that Yoru, they've got this Jet. I'm excited to see how quickly they can take space with both of those agents. I'm excited to see the entry from the Yoru as well as maybe playing some lurks here and there.
Yeah, but watch on the other side. Watch for this Neon on the defense. We know that Neon is a pretty typically aggressive agent. We saw a lot of the rounds that did work out pretty well on the side of SFU were just some of those rounds where Neon just exploded. right? Neon exploded, got a pick, and then the trades were just all there for SFU. So it's going to be super important to watch what this Neon is able to do. Obviously, you have a kind of triple op setup almost
Yeah.
with your agents. But
Yeah,
for
this
now, Keanu looking towards B main.
half definitely has both of these teams on the side that they want to be on.
Savo immediately dashed into sight, is taken down a little bit, and Bondo able to trade out Ebb with a kill onto Maeve. Senja is able to take out Hob in middle, and now it's a 3v4 on the retake for SFU, and their Neon is in T spawn, or in attacker spawn. Sock Monkey
Yeah,
is
good
able to
flank, but caught out.
Senja.
Uh-huh.
Such a huge kill, and now it's a
enemy remaining.
2v4. Bondo with one, Chris with the other. This is Chris M's world, man. I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm a Chris M believer.
Yeah, I mean, we flip sides, and it just seems like it's a complete shift. You know, when Keanu was on the defense, they knew how to take those fights on site. They knew how to even plan for those retakes, to use their util to be able to get in there. Especially that Yoru flash is a big factor in a lot of their retakes. But they don't have that on the side of SFU, and on top of that, they're just not really understanding how to hold down that site. They've got some of these powerful defensive agents, but in these first few rounds, they're not going to have those operators. They're not going to have those vandals to hold those long angles with, and that's going to start to weigh on them as they move deeper into these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, Savo just immediately with this dash onto site, he and Eb are able to combine to take out Shanyul, and now it's Sock Monkey again. Behind this Viper's wall, we've seen him push it before and get something, but I don't think it's going to happen this time, especially with the weapon disadvantage. Chris M able to find one onto Maven. Savo able to find one onto Sock Monkey. 2v5 now as the numbers just look worse and worse out of the side of SFU, but Savo swinging mid with a Spectre. Who said that's not a long-range gun? And Chris M able to find the last onto Law. Is a comeback in the cards?
It's possible. I'm finding it difficult to criticize Keanu here. They're just doing so much so well. On their defense, there are a few times they lack some of that situational awareness, or they misplayed a few times, but it just seems now that this ball is rolling, they've managed to warm up on the stream, and now see them here just absolutely dominating. They get a flawless forced buy round in that second round, so as they move into this bonus, they've got some good guns to work with. We could see a potential 3 in a row if they play this well.
Yeah, absolutely. We are on the bonus here for Keanu as they look to split this A site. Savo again on this entry. Smoke dashed in. The blind is perfect, and Savo able to get to. Stock Monkey responds though. Hold on, this isn't just a shoo-in for Keanu yet. Savo holding for this peak. Ooh. Oh, the timing. So unfortunate. Sock Monkey with the peak. Able to convert. But Chris M is right here. Gets one, and Sock Monkey's low. Ooh. Will they be ready for this chamber from doors though? Oh, Chris M got the damage notification, and Shanyul. It's now on Bondo. Low health. 1v2. Low health for everyone involved. Bondo, the IGL for the team, the shot caller at 1 HP. Oh, he heard him. Oh. There's no time. That's it. Keanu with the 12 and Bondo with the style points anyways. Map point for Keanu. 9 map points to spare.
Yeah, that was played beautifully. Knowing they were at a gun disadvantage, they pushed aggressively through mid, able to get deep into that backside of A, and they absolutely took advantage of that situation. Able to find those picks. Monkey did not want to go down easy, but it did not matter. Eventually taken out. That 1v2 was clutched out. Beautifully played by Bondo, and I think as we move towards what could be the last round of this half, I think it's time, or the last round of the map, it's time to really look at rooting for Keanu moving forward in this tournament.
For sure, and something that I want to bring attention to, as you saw the scoreboard a little bit earlier, is Chris M or Senja, one of them is just going to have a game. Savo and Eb able to find 2. Chris M has to get his kill in. You know, when can't he? He's just always ready. Viper's Pit goes out for Keanu. They want this to be done in 16 rounds. Bondo at literally 1 HP. Law's looking to retake from B main.
Soft angle though. Oh, doesn't
Who
matter.
is able to
One enemy
convert?
remaining.
Law is
Yeah.
traded out by Chris M, but now it's Maeve in a 1v3. Match point, series point on the line. It is just a
Oh.
best of one, and Savo
Attackers
takes out Maeve. And that is it. Their second win of the season, Keanu,
Yeah,
against SFU on this breeze.
and it looks just as dominant as it did on Saturday. Completely different event that we're in now, and it doesn't matter. They continue to impress with their performance. They just look so good. Again, there's very few criticisms to make. Keanu played all of their cards well. Obviously, want to highlight the impressive performance from Chris M, going 20-7 with a 350 average combat score. That's an insane number, especially when you consider Chris M is on Viper, right? Viper's not typically going to be fragging out. And Chris M wasn't even necessarily lurking a whole lot, which is sometimes when you see that high fragging Viper, you'll see those lurks. But that's not really what Chris M was doing, and it didn't matter. Obviously, a good portion of his kills were on the defense, and they played that defense well. Again, very few things to criticize here. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Chris M dropping 20. I'm a Chris M believer. I always will be. We've
I
seen
will
what he
say,
go
I
for
will
it.
say, the sub Ebb not as high fragging as maybe you'd expect. Everybody on the team is positive. Again, I'm nitpicking here. Just I feel as though maybe Ebb could have found more value on that Euro, but considering they started on the defense, the vast majority of the rounds are on the defense, they're just gonna have a little bit of a tougher time. And they still fragged higher than Senja, even if their combat score was a little bit lower. That's just the curse of being on duelist. You're either going to have to be getting a whole lot of kills in the round, or your combat score is going to be a little bit lower. So yeah, again, looking very good for Keanu. We do have another match, different team coming up, but before then, I believe we will be taking a quick little break, and yeah, we'll be back when the next match begins. All right, hello everybody. We're back. It's now Keanu Esports versus none other than Fresno State. This is going to be a very fun match. Now, a little bit unfortunate, we're not going to be able to get the complete observer POV. It's only going to be from the perspective of Keanu's, but I'm back with Angel, and we will be going into Ascent. So, how do you feel about the teams going into Ascent? Do you think we're going to see Keanu pull out the same comp we saw from them on Thursday, or is it going to be a little bit? Do they want to switch it up now that they've got a sub?
Well, it seems that the comp will be the same, but the players will be a little different. As we know, Tiny is not here, and instead we have Ebb subbing in. So it seems like the comp will be the same, that Killjoy Jet, Astra, KO, Sova, but we have Ebb taking the KO from Bondo, and Bondo picking up the Sova in place of Tiny. So overall, I think the comp is the same, but just a
Yeah,
couple key differences in players.
yeah. Obviously, both Bondo and Tiny were sort of more initiator players, and now that Ebb comes in a little bit of a duelist usually, so they're going on that more aggressive initiator role in KO. And of course, Bondo usually plays initiator. I don't think they feel uncomfortable on Sova. They played Sova on Breeze, so I'm not too upset with how this has panned out. I think it still looks good for Keanu. We can go ahead look over on the side of Fresno State. They are running nearly a mirror comp. They've actually gone for the meta, which is instead of having that Astra, they've got the Omen. Whereas on Keanu, they're switching it up a little bit from that meta, as we saw from them on Thursday, going for Astra instead of that Omen. Um, Astra and Omen can be used interchangeably, so I don't necessarily favor one over the other. Although Omen is typically going to be a little bit more aggressive, Astra's going to be better in that post plant situation. The ult can be a little bit more effective, especially since From the Shadows is very difficult to use, even or especially in these sort of pro settings, or pros are going to be very aware of where those ults might go. So yeah, how are you feeling? Do you like the enemy comp, or how do you think it's going to go?
Um, I think that the enemy comp, they are running the loud comp. It does kind of suck that we don't get to see the strats that they're going to be running, especially on this attacking side. But we do have Senja and Bondo here on the B site. You have Ebb and Savo up towards A. The enemies in FS, Fresno State, have sent their KO knife in towards mid, so it does seem like mid control would be on the cards. And we
They
see,
also destroyed that alarm bot in the market. Oh,
yeah, and Savo, an amazing opening pick onto Sabretooth. Ebb is going to be a key player here watching that tree cross. Savo now back towards the A site. I have no clue where they're going. This is a
yeah, it
really
did seem
interesting.
wanted to take that mid control AD. Oh, here we go.
Oh, whoa.
Oh no.
Cowbacks with the knife onto Sabo. This A hit came out of almost nowhere is what it seems like. But it's a 3v3 retake. Bondo and Ebb. Already here at Heaven. Senja seems to looking to be wrapping through tree. Cabig's able to find one onto Ebb. And now it's just Bondo and Senja. 2v3.
Reloading.
The door is closed. We're going to have to work through it. Bondo able to take out the KJ turret. And now
Player standing.
trying to clear out sight.
Done.
Senja able to get one.
One enemy remaining.
Can he get? He found the second, and he gets the third.
God.
And time is there.
Right now.
He's got it.
So funny.
I mean, what
Wow.
a way to do it. A 1v3 clutch, especially after that knife kill to avenge the fallen soldiers, to find that disrespect in that 1v3 clutch. Well played from Senja. I think Fresno State could have done a better job of maybe doubling up, holding a little bit more together. They didn't have to swing Senja, and they did. Obviously, that's all in hindsight. In the moment, your situational awareness is going to be a little bit lacking, but what I will say is very well played from Senja, and I'm starting to see as though Keanu's not going to let them be rolled over, as it started to look like maybe they're going to do in that round.
Yeah, now we see Bondo immediately with that airy spam onto B main. I mean, the important thing to note here, oh, jump spot from Ebb, able to see one on tiles. It's the enemy KO, and that alarm bot also getting notified in mid. Really, really scary round. You know, they did in their previous best of one. Keanu did lose this conversion, this anti-eco. So super important not to lose it again. But
Need that back.
Chris M watching the cross to market in mid. Ebb and Savo here holding down the A site, and Chris M able to get one. Does get traded out by Darkblaze though, and Bondo with a huge pick onto Cavex. And he gets another one onto Mr. Clean. Senja with 2. It's something that's super crucial here. I wanted to mention it earlier, but this is the map where Senja drops 20 in like 14 rounds or something. Like, this man is crazy.
Yeah.
He cannot be stopped.
I think it's important to note Keanu had a very, very good game on Ascent, so I think we're going to see a similar sort of story here. They win that, majority of their players alive, and not just majority, but they got 4 out of the 5. So going into this bonus, we're going to see quite a good amount of econ, or at least guns, flowing the way of Keanu to, at the very least, try and take out the majority of those Fresno State players, because that really is your goal on this bonus. You're going to be at a gun.
Savo gets the first opening pick. That is huge. Does get tagged up though. He is only at 1 HP. And Ebb is also, you know, rather low. But Bondo with this huge info push out of B main. That's going to get them so much info. They know they have to be either A main or somewhere in mid. And Chris M here to stabilize the A site. You know, get that extra information. And even Senja starts to rotate over because of how much info Bondo is able to gain out of being this far up. Finds one in mid, able to take out Darkblaze, but Owl Drone goes out, finds 2 more, and Chris M swings. This man was a demon on Cat last game, last time they played on on Ascent, excuse me. And Sabretooth gets a second, tries to reload, and Chris M with the style points, able to convert for a 3rd on the round.
Bit of a storyline playing out. That first round, we saw that knife kill, and it just seems as though Keanu's not going to let anything close to that happen again. 3 in a row to start it off. I said they had the majority of their players with, 4 of the 5 of their players with guns from the previous rounds. They could try and do some good damage, and they did more than that. They got the round, and they're able to pick up some guns. That's going to result in some immense conversion in their eco, get some good cash flow. Meanwhile, Fresno State gonna have to take an eco here, as they expended so much on that previous round and weren't able to find the round. So I think Fresno should maybe try switching it up a little bit in sort of this slow play style they've been making. Obviously, again, it's hard to know exactly what they do at the beginning of the rounds or where they initially place, just because we don't have their perspective. But from what I've seen, they're not super aggressive in how they've been playing. Just in these 3 rounds, obviously their econ's been weird, so not a whole lot to add there. But Keanu, on the other hand, doing a very good job of denying that that play style where they're just trying to take mid, maybe move slowly, catch Keanu off guard. Keanu just returns fire with an aggressive play style of their own, aggressively peeking mid, aggressively holding those sites. That way they can get vision. I think Keanu's doing a really good job of finding that vision when they need to.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, now you're on this eco round for Keanu. We're going to see what happens, but I wouldn't expect anything too aggressive out of the side of Keanu. Bondo does have an Odin. Super interesting. And pushes 4 info in B main. This is a little scary to me. I am so afraid that you just get swung with a deagle and then boom, now the enemy team has an Odin. But I guess on the other side of it, you're on attack with an Odin, not a Vandal, so you're a little less threatening. But still, 3,200 credit gun. You don't just want that to be sent out. So we'll see what happens with Bondo. It's Bondo. He should be able to get it. And Chris M able to find one on Cat in the form of Sabretooth. And that's the Sova down. And Ebb and Savo able to collect Sigma in a main. Senja with this info push out of B main, trading places with Bondo as Bondo goes back to mid. And Chris M able to find another one on the Cabags. Gets a 3rd on Darkblaze.
Wow.
Oh, and Bondo, he got his kill. on Mr. Clean. 4-0
Absolutely,
start.
absolutely no hope in the round for Fresno. They were on that eco, and of course, typically on ecos, you play very aggressively, you push very quickly because you're just trying to overwhelm the defense. Unfortunately for Fresno, they ended up not doing that, and it really wouldn't have mattered because Keanu was ready for that possibility. You saw them not play as hard for that vision as they had done in those previous rounds. They just held those entrances. And because they knew they were going to be at a gun advantage in those fights, in those entrances, they take advantage of those choke points and they are able to find those kills. Played very, very well.
Yeah, the recon trade in B main immediately. We're gonna probably see some more looks early round, and Bondo and Senja combined for 3 at the start of this round. This round feels over before it's even started.
Yeah.
Kiara just have the read.
Play they tried to set up in the previous round, and now that it's against a Phi, it'd be an even more timely position for it to work, and well, it does.
Sigma is able to find one at the Sabo though. You know, this round is not over yet. You know, if 1v5 can happen, then a 2v5 can certainly happen. So, but Chris M able to find that on the Sabertooth. It's a 4v1. Sigma, the only one alive for Fresno State, is able to find Chris M. Don't get sloppy now, Keanu. Bondo with this Odin, trying to maybe bait. As Sigma looking in towards mid, and Eb able to find it, keep it relatively clean. Only dropping 2, it's 5-0, and that's another eco for the side of Fresno State, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have to take another eco here. Is what it looks like. What I will say is Keanu misplayed that a little bit. They had vision in mid, and so they knew that Jet couldn't be anywhere except for in garage. Despite knowing that, they still pushed up a little bit in garage, and they got punished for it. They lost a player. Fortunately, it didn't matter. And so hopefully they can clean that type of situational awareness up a little bit.
Up coming out for Savo on A. Seems like they were going for a read, but Cabags with that, with the jet knives, able to take one onto Bondo, and now it's Senja. Oh my goodness, the pre-fire out of Sigma clears Senja. Whew.
Spike planted.
Ooh, Chris M tries to get a cheeky pick. Unfortunately fails to hit the headshot, and now it's Eb coming in from Market, trying to collapse with Chris M, and Savo's still on this op on the retake. This is looking a little scary. Oh my god. Cabags swung out of lane. Chris M is able to get one, but you know, at this point, oh my goodness, Cabags. He was ready. And now it's Savo, 1v4, looking to save this op. Oh wow. Just a demon. A demon Cabags is.
Yeah, that was sort of that change of pace, playing a little bit more aggressively that Fresno hadn't really tried yet. Again, in those first few rounds of the half, they'd sort of been playing slowly, trying to take mid control, be a little bit more fluid. And that round, they just aggressively ran in. They're able to find those entry picks, and it pays off. I believe they went into that, a few of them on an eco. Obviously, with that Blade Storm as a powerful weapon, and the tool was used effectively. Yeah, overall, just played well by Fresno in that round to take site so effectively.
Yeah, now watch for this op in B main out of Bonda. This is super interesting. I haven't seen a Sova op since the days of Yampi on Liquid. So I'm gonna be super interested to see if he's able to do, and he is able to collect the opening pick of the round onto Dark Blaze. Senja, oh my god, Bondo, double up. Have a game, have a round. Senja coming back in through CT. Sabertooth is able to cut off Chris M in mid. And Savo, oh, got swung. Sabertooth is able to collect, and now it's Ab on the A site as Fresno State seems to try to rotate over to A. Eb sitting here in hell, trying to make a huge discipline play as Fresno State is just sitting there. They're ready. It's a 3v3 retake. Lockdown is available for Keanu. They could totally invest it here. Bondo able to find a third with that off. They know that this Omen is probably somewhere on site.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, Bondo. Oh, they knew it was... Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Senja. Senja and Bondo both. These B-site warriors, man. They just can't be stopped.
I mean, you said you hadn't seen Bondo or sorry, a Sova with an operator in a minute, and well, guess what? We just saw it, and they got 4 kills with it. Bondo, despite being the IGL again, showing that they have the firepower to frag out. And Fresno State, honestly, I think they misplayed that a little bit there. They sort of just allowed that retake to happen. Obviously, they were sort of relying on being able to win their gunfights, but in that situation where it got down to 2v2, I do think they should have maybe taken those fights together, knowing that the 2 players on the defense would be playing together. So.
Yeah, jump peek out of tiles for the side of Fresno State. Bondo again with this op. This is... I'm loving it. Listen, I love when you get to see things that aren't just jet op. Cabags is able to find the opening pick onto Savo, but Ebb trades it out. 4v4, but with health, Ebb is not looking too amazing. The KO lockdown, or the KO power-up coming in. Senja able to get one onto Sabretooth, and Mr. Clean able to trade it out. Do we see a rotation to A? It's planted on A.
Spike planted.
Bondo and Chris M are the first to arrive, with Ebb possibly arriving a little bit later. And Chris M just exploding out of heaven! Oh my goodness! Gets an insane first pick onto Mr. Clean. The KO from Fresno State going down, and now it's Dark Blaze in a 1v2. Gets the pick onto Bondo. Oh, Chris M. 5 bullets left. 1v1 clutch around Dice,
Wow.
able to find the pick. Whew! These clutches, I mean Keanu just can't lose a clutch.
Yeah, it just seems like every time they're in those individual moments where they need one of their players to perform well, they do not crack under the pressure. Absolutely playing up to the expectations of the team. And yeah, I mean, played beautifully in that round. I will say again, you know, they nearly got baited out, but they made the proactive decision to begin that sort of quick rotation over to A. And Chris decided to just explode onto the site and did such a good job in doing that, able to use their concuss to find and take out a player. Again, I said Ash is a little bit less aggressive than Omen, but Chris M making it look like that doesn't matter, able to still play aggressive, especially in that retake.
Yeah, now we see this kind of mid-aggression coming out from the side of Keanu. Oh, wow. Wow, the double up from Bondo and Chris M. Huge opening pick onto that KJ, leaving a gap. Oh, the quick scope from Savo wasn't too sharp, but it is a 3v3. So now we're on equal numbers here. Sabretooth tries to get aggressive towards Heaven, and Ebb able to punish. Now it's 3v2 retake, favoring Keanu. Ebb pops the overclock. Sova drone comes out. Chris M with the backstab from A main, and now it's all onto the Sova of Fresno State. Mr. Clean not able to get it done. Chris M 3 on the round. And a really clean round from Keanu.
Yeah, Keanu, similarly to kind of what we saw in Breeze a little bit, it's just Keanu understands how to play these retakes. They understand when to go for those aggressive flanks, like Chris going around. They had very proactive early on in the round. That play out towards B main was played very beautifully. And typically you don't see plays like that, which is why it was so unexpected. So again, Keanu consistently showing why they've been able to dominate in the past few matches we've seen from them. It's just because they know what they're doing. They have those set executes that they know how to play. They also show some impressive adaptability, and Fresno State does need to bounce back a little bit. They need to maybe play in a way that allows them to take advantage of Keanu's aggressive playstyle.
Odin spam, the classic, coming out from Bondo into B main. Wow, 3 players plus Savo on that opening pick towards A main. Gives Keanu a lot of information to go off of. And the suppression knife, suppression dart does come back on the side of Fresno, but they really only get Ebb with that. They don't really know the setup on A. Savo, another pick on this op.
Oh.
A third! Savo!
Oh.
Savo! Don't do it to him! He got the knife to finish off the last game, and it's just... Oh, no ace for the Savo Savant.
A
The
near
Savant of Savo.
flawless round. You know, so much went right there. They had Bondo send that dart out into B garage, and because they didn't get a ping off, they felt confident to play a little bit more aggressively, deeper into that A main. They were rewarded with some good picks. And, I mean, just one by one, Fresno State walked right into that operator. And, yeah, there you go. Savo able to get a 4K in the round. Near flawless round. Nearly an ace as well. So, if Kiana can keep up this sort of, again, they keep changing their strat from round to round, and it pays off every time.
Yeah, and I mean, even now with these setups, they're just changing. It's very diverse. And Bondo with this aggression, main able to get to and the spike. Senja with a turret kill into Cabags. A turret kill. Sabretooth is able to find one onto Ebbs, but it's just him. It's just Sabretooth. 1v5 on the cards for him. Isn't able to get it done. Bondo with 3 on that Odin to collect Keanu's 10th.
Listen, I know that was an eco from Fresno State, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Keanu's gonna feel so good, dominating so quickly in that round to end it. One of the fastest rounds I think we've seen so far in this match. It just seems as rounds tick by, the mental for Fresno State starts getting lower and lower, and they're starting to struggle to figure out how to bounce back. Again, when Keanu keeps switching up where they're placing these players, the strats that they decide to execute, even on those retakes, when they change it from round to round, it's hard for Fresno State to counterplay.
Aggressive A main play, it seems immediately.
Oh.
Savo gets swung, tries to bait out, but Ebb clean for 2 anyways. Expect an ult fest coming in. It's the last round of the half, so there's no point saving him. Chris M running away, gets spammed down through the smoke, and it's a 2v3 for the retake. Senja and Bondo. Hunter's Fury goes out. He sticks the plant.
Okay.
Bondo with 1 onto Sigma. And Senja, lockdown, goes in for this retake. The Hunter's Fury comes out to break it. Oh, but Senja can't get the spray onto Dark Blaze.
Okay.
Bondo with 1. It's a 1v1. For all the marbles. 15 bullets left in that Odin. And he's able to find it onto Dark Blaze. Keanu cannot lose a clutch to save their enemies' lives. 11-1 at the half for Keanu.
I don't know why. It just seems Keanu. I mean, they're excelling at every moment in the round, but they get down to 1 player, and it's like something else turns on. They're able to just. I mean, it's crazy that Bondo was just able to jump in with an Odin, and he was rewarded for it. Fresno State didn't expect it, so they couldn't punish it. And I think that's the story for a lot of Keanu's plays in these rounds. Is they know how to catch their opponent off guard. Because they're able to play in a way that catches their opponent off guard, it's difficult for them to be counterplayed because Fresno doesn't know where these players are going to be playing from round to round. They don't know how they're going to approach these retakes. They think they've got the number advantage, so they can play a little bit more aggressively or a little bit more risky, and then it's denied. They're punished for that sort of more risky hold, spreading out their players, as we saw go so beautifully for Bondo in that round.
And now watch this hold, this A main hold from Keanu at the start of the round, expecting some sort of aggression to come out from Fresno State. Do we see it? Do they get rewarded for this? I think it'd be really cool if they did. It's such an insane read. Oh, Cabag's able to find the opening pick onto Savo despite the patience displayed, but it seems like a brawl in A main is festering. Utility traded, health traded, and kills traded, but ultimately it's a 4v4 walking away from it all. Although, that KO getting taken down on the side of Fresno State does mean that the info for Fresno State will be a bit more limited going into the remainder of this round. Keanu kind of doing this 3-man run it down through B main. With Chris M on this lurk towards A. And with the spike being still down in attacker spawn, it kind of makes you wonder where this round is going to end. Chris M. Chris M has a knife out. Chris M, you have a knife out. Why? You're scaring me. Are you going to knife? No, he's just holding the spawn. cross, thankfully, but it's a 3v4. Oh, the cape betrays him. The cape betrayed him. Ebb clearing out the rest of A main. 10 seconds left on the timer. Spike's
10
going to go
seconds left.
down in a 3v4 retake. Chris M. Able to catch out Cavags again. They just get to make these plays and they go unpunished for it.
I know, they're so rewarded for this aggressive playstyle that they keep pulling out.
Yeah, it's like this just it's not aggressive, it's explosive. And that's so rewarded on the side of Keanu. Ebb with this insane flash and just everyone on Keanu collapses and cleans up that round. That was a 3v4.
Listen, I wasn't coming into this half thinking a comeback was possible for Fresno State, and I definitely don't think that now as they lost the pistol. Big gun advantage for Keanu. Obviously, Fresno's just going to force a buy. That's what you got to do when your opponent's on match point. But at this point, you've got Keanu going to be at a gun advantage. They clearly understand how to play this map. I mean, it's their wheelhouse. They look so comfortable. They're just able to move so adamantly. They can play explosively, like you said, in towards CT, and they're rewarded.
Yeah, definitely. And as we go into this last round of the half, we are gonna have to see some magic come out from the side of Fresno State. Keanu moves straight into the smoke. Cabags is able to get a pick onto Bondo, but and some damage now onto Ebb. That Marshall doing as much as you can expect. Ebb flashing into CT. Wow, this Marshall again! And Sabretooth is able to combine for 2. Well, you said a miracle was required, and you know, Senja and Chris M. I feel like the two heroes of Keanu in a 2v5. Chris M is able to find one into Cavags. Oh, the dart. Chris M's position is a known now, but we see this crawl out of the 2 remaining players for Keanu, trying to close this out. 13-1. The jiggle is good for Chris M. And Senja in a 1v2 isn't able to capitalize, and that's a second round on the board for Fresno State.
That might be the first time we've seen them lose that clutch. Perhaps I gave it a bit of a caster's curse saying that they wouldn't come back. Big win for the side of Fresno State. I mean, that was beautifully played down to their Jet holding in that Asher smoke and Cat knowing that Keanu was likely to push through it. And then, of course, finding that second shot with the Marshall. Early damage done, early vision gained, and Fresno State was able to cash in so beautifully. And now, gonna have to be an eco from Keanu.
Yeah, I mean, Keanu is... Oh, the bolt landed on Senja on the dot. Wow. I'm impressed. But Savo is pushed up pretty aggressively in A main. Might just be kept there as a lurk to try and punish or just to make noise. As we see Bondo and Senja towards B. Just trying to deal with this KJ being a nuisance, disturbing the utility. Chris M with this lurk into tree. We're going to see what he's able to do. We've seen Chris M just be a master of the timings. What is he able to accomplish? Smoke goes down in CT and he's able to get one onto Sigma. Oh my goodness, Chris M. How do you get away with that? Like, just, it was so clean. And Savo able to trade out Ebb onto Cabags. It's a 4v3 and they retreat. Chris M. Oh.
Perfect.
Oh.
What was that? What was that, Bondo? Oh my goodness. Not like this. A Deco? A Shiko?
Thrifty to end it would be a beautiful story for Keanu to tell.
5 sheriffs and a willingness to close it out in 15. Savo shaking his head at Bondo. He said, Bondo, that was filthy. You shouldn't have been able to do that. But here it is, a 3v1. And Darkblade is able to get one, but Senja with the game-winning kill, and that is it. 13-2 on a set to close out the night. 2-0 for Keanu Valorant.
It's disgusting. I mean, Keanu, this team is going places. I mean, I expect them to be the number one team to look out for. These players are going to be picked up after this for sure. Again, highlighting Chris M once again on controller role, top of the leaderboard, 22-9, not far behind, 3 kills behind is Bondo with 335 ACS, whereas Chris M has 383, nearly 400. Quebec's didn't do too bad for Fresno State, but there was a lot of misplays there. Cayano, of course, I mean, you saw them in those clutch situations. They're able to get the wins. I mean, you saw them understand how to play proactively. Again, they just looked comfortable, and I think that's going to be the story to tell for a lot of these upcoming matches for Cayano. Is they just always seem so comfortable. You can tell they put time into these maps. You can tell they've studied how to play their opponents. And again, every step of the way, they just beautiful. They know when to go for those off angle peaks. They know when to go for those aggressive plays early in the rounds on defense or on offense. It doesn't matter. Keanu just looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, Chris M, just want to mention Chris M went 40, got 40 kills for the night. Across 2 maps, he dropped
Yeah.
42 kills. This man is insane.
Yeah, I mean, lots to highlight here. I this is a team I think everybody needs to continue watching. This is a team you want to root for. You always want to root for the winning team, and it just seems as though Keanu continues to do that in such dominant fashion. I mean, I don't even think we've seen a map go 13-6 yet to start off this season, which is just an insane thing to say, um, considering how or above 13-6, just because of how powerful these teams are. Yeah, I mean, uh, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just Ascent looked just as dominant as it did on Thursday on their season opener, but that is going to be it from myself, Ancient Angel, and Sleepy for tonight. It's two best of ones. Looked good.
I mean,
Anything else you want to say before we close it out?
you could have convinced me that that was actually a best of three against the same team because it just looked like no matter which team they were facing, they put up a consistent performance. But again, look out for this team for tonight, though. That's going to be it, I believe, for the both of us. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to follow if you haven't already. Thank you to, of course, the production crew, Shadi, of course, for or Zeddy, for organizing the whole event. Thank you, Eggship, for casting with me, and I hope everybody has a good rest of their week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. We'll
Bye.
see you next time.